The Crooked Epic, 1, Innn, 1, The Inn of Maniacal Madness, 12, Christopher, The Innn 12d, 2. Christopher Good could not remember as much as he did of Earth's timeline, nor his life story when he had first dropped down into the catacombs of the land of Hob. Some might even consider his loss a blessing, not a curse, as he reacted to everything he ran into with rejuvenation. Often, after days of tracking American fugitives or weeks of meditative training investing in personal success, a single moment of restfulness could be all he needed to reopen his eyes to the light which shines above for any of those who allow righteousness to guide them. He knew something about El's guidance was intended to lure him there, so he felt as though he had some purpose in the end, even if it did not yet truly reveal itself to him. Questioning those whose hands' toils are ingrained by repetition for communal coexistence burdens those without faith and cooperativity to progress fundamental ethics. Earlier, Christopher had descended the right side of the staircase from the upper level and returned to those bearings again. He wandered along the lobby counter and proceeded to the flickering candles to step downward in more visibility and less wet slickness of the Cerebus he had put down. He gripped the left handrail down the entire way, pausing midway to check its temperature and its smooth, chilled metal rivet. The lights were out. A majority of the chairs were tipped or thrown, and yet the tables were set. Napkins were puffed with clinging rings, and silverware was arranged with old-world etiquette. Menus stood in the condiment baskets. As Christopher Good walked around the table for two, round with a short diameter, he saw one more protracted catering table with a knife stuck upright into the tablecloth and shining in dim lights. He heard a noise from the kitchen, and with no fear in his heart now, Mr. Good walked right in. Motu's eyes were shining, bright coruscating incandescence, an adopted trait from his cloning experience. He was blind, however, and Christopher Good walked past the order pickup station, thawed perishables and flat tops, to where Motu stood, motionless, rendered defenseless and tame. But when Motu opened his mouth, a high-pitched sonar crackled from his throat. He sprang across the fryers, landing atop a salad station, and used retractable claws to slash venom into Chris's face and neck. However, Mr. Good had not lost gumption, and as he fell backward, he felt a knife on its magnetized board on the wall. He gripped it upside down and thrust it into the middle of Motu's neck. Then Chris pulled it out through the front of his esophagus and watched the abomination fall, gasping her breath through bubbling, oozing blood. The venom was coursing through his veins, quickly pumping his heart to its capacity with poisonous chemicals worse than any snake, spider, or other creature on Earth. In a twist of fate, the same strange portal appeared along the sides of the kitchen door. Instead of humor, there were two new flying monsters, a Cimmerig and Anzu. The Anzu blew from the head of a lion lightning-quick flames, which licked Mr. Good's inflictions, healing them with scars and clotted blood. This slowed his vascular system, immediately causing him to feel weaker than ever. The Cimmerig stepped through this portal and wrapped her wild hair around him, trapping him in a tangle of strands. She picked Mr. Good up and flew through the floor below the deep fries with invincible strength. Splashing oil slickened her hair, and she shrieked as she abandoned him in the dressing room of the Inn's entertainers and repelled herself back into the portal of fire.